I'm John, and I'm a roving rocket man. It's interesting how I got interested in rockets, and I've always been interested in flying things, and aeroplanes were just kind of passé. When I found out about rockets, oh, that was cool. Oh, that was something different. That was something, you know, really, really special and awesome. And probably about 15, 16, I suddenly became interested. And by 19, and I went to university, and I was doing physics with space technology. Well, actually, when I was in university, I was a member of an X-Prize team in Manchester, and we were trying to build manned space flight in an old Manchester boiler shed in Hyde. When we started going out into schools, doing sort of rocket workshops, and when that sort of kind of stopped happening and didn't go anywhere, I suddenly, it was actually one of the other co-workers there said, you could do this, you should go on, you should carry on doing this, you could probably make money doing that. And I thought, well, that's absolutely ridiculous. One of the big things I do are week-long workshops where I'll come in and I'll liaise with the school, and from Monday to Friday I'll be as almost like an extra member of staff, and the young kids are building air rockets, the older kids are building gunpowder rockets, we're doing other science workshops, and everything that the kids are doing in that week are to do with the science and space, all the way through to the end of the week. And then we normally get all of the kids out, absolutely everyone, and the 40 or so gunpowder rockets that we've made with years 5 and 6, and blasting those ones off. I do take the whole role model thing exceptionally seriously. It's not just talking about the science and that science is cool, it's about giving this idea that learning is not an uncool thing. The UK, it's really sad, and this is what gets me annoyed when I hear Americans browbeating NASA. You know, you did fantastic stuff back in the 60s, but you're still doing stuff now. The UK is the only country in the entire world ever to have had a space program and completely just cancelled the entire thing. Thank you, we're done, nothing. Everyone was sent home. In fact, we've now on the 30 years rule got some of the documents from the Whitehall Mandarin saying things like, we need to figure out which program to kill next. And using emotive language like that, talking about trying to destroy these programs. This whole idea that the UK doesn't deal in launches has actually personally affected me doing these little rockets in schools. I've even had funding withheld for educational workshops because the workshop is to do with rockets, and we don't do rockets in the UK. So I find it interesting. You know, it's 30 years later, that's still having an effect. It basically comes down to why I do this. I mean, I hate to say it, I could probably earn more money doing something else. I mean, obviously it's a fantastic job. My elevator pitch for this is, I'm the only person you've ever met fully insured to bring gunpowder into primary schools. You know, it's fantastic. But there is method to the madness. There is a reason why I do this, and that's because, you know, these kids in 10, 15 years, they're going to be making decisions in their lives when they're voting. Everything that they do, they're going to need information to be able to be a fully functioning subject. And to do that, you need to have knowledge of science. I've been back to a school after having had a hiatus at the school for 2 or 3 years, and had there were about 7 or 8 come up and say, I remember you launched rockets with me. I had 1 hour with that kid when they were 4 years old, and they still remember it. I mean, you know that you're making an impression.